Welcome to the fourth week of our online learning. My beloved and wonderful eighth graders, how are you? How was your weekend? Hope you were able to do your assignments of our last class. Were you able to call up two or three of your classmates, especially those you've not been seeing online? Hope they promise to come online. Please try to follow up on them so that they can be beneficiaries to what you're enjoying. Okay, without much ado, let's go into the topic of the day. Remember, we said we shall be running through nine topics this time. And in the first week, we did scales. Under the scales, we talked about the diatonic scale, the chromatic scale, and the pentatonic scale. And the next week, that's the second week, we did the primary notes of a major chord, under which we still talked about the degree names of a major chord. The third week we did musical terms, signs and abbreviation. This week we shall be doing transcription. Transcription. Now transcription can either be from staff to solver or from solver to staff. But this week we shall be doing from staff notation to solver. Remember what staff notation is. Yeah, the system of writing music that makes use of the 5 lines and 4 spaces. Exactly. So we shall be doing transcription from staff notation to solver notation. Now, at the end of this lesson, you should be able to define transcription properly. You should be able to give a description of a given melody. You should be able to describe a given melody. And finally, you should be able to compose short musical phrases using staff notation and then transcribe them to solver notation. I hope you understand the things you're supposed to know at the end of this topic. At the end of this topic, you're supposed to be able to define what transcription is. You're also you're also supposed to be able to give a description of a given melody. Then finally, you're supposed to be able to compose a short musical phrase using staff notation. And also, you should be able to transcribe the musical phrase into solver notation. What is transcription? Transcription is defined as a process of converting a piece of music from one system of notation to another system of notation. I repeat, transcription is defined as the process of converting a piece of music from one system of notation to another. Now, what is notation? Remember, we said notation simply means a system of writing music, and we agree that there are two ways to write music, either with the staff notation, that's the use of 5 lines and 4 spaces, or the solfa notation, the movable those, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, where you write sol, fa, la, ti, do, where you use the S, M, do, D, and the rest of them. So, what transcription means is having to move from one system of writing to another system of writing. For example, you can be given a song on staff notation and you say, okay, I don't want to sing this song on staff notation. You move it to solfa notation if you're more comfortable with that. So let's define it again and see. Transcription is defined as a process of converting a piece of music from one system of notation to another. Hope you understand that. Now, a piece of music can be transcribed from staff notation to solfa notation or a piece of music can be transcribed from solfa notation to staff notation or from staff notation to solver notation. So it could go either way. What transcription requires? What transcription requires? Transcription demands basic knowledge of some factors, which makes the exercise easy. That means you need to know these things, these factors, so that transcription will be easier for you. They include one, the clef involved. Now, primarily, we know that we have two types of clef, though others still exist, but we have primarily or basically two types of clef. We have the treble clef, we have the bass clef. Now, you should know the piece you're transcribing or the song you want to transcribe on what clef is it. You remember, if you see a song on G clef, that means a clef gives name to that 5 lines and 4 spaces. If you see a song on the G clef, you now know that the first line becomes E if it's on staff. Now, if you see the bass sign, which is the F clef, you see it on the 5 lines and 4 spaces. You now know that the first line, becomes G. So a clef gives name to a staff, the 5 lines and 4 spaces. So you should first know what clef is on the 5 lines and 4 spaces. Secondly, you should know the key of the music. This is going to help you so that you don't change the key. Remember, you are only changing the type of notation. You're not changing any other thing. You're not changing the key of the song. So while transcribing, if you change the key of the song, you failed it. So you're supposed to note the key of the song. For example, if it's on key C major, which has no flat or sharp, if you're transcribing it to another system of notation, make sure it is also on key C major. Don't worry, we shall be running through some examples for you to see. Thirdly, the time signature of the piece of music. Now, if it's on 3/4/4/4, 3/4 simply means that it should be 3 crochets in a bar. That means 1 1 1, 3 beats. So if you're converting it to another system of writing music, that's if you're changing it from the staff to the solver now, you should make sure that it's also on 3/4. If it's on 4/4, you should make sure that it's on 4/4 when transcribing. 4/4 simply means there should be 4 crochet beats in a bar. So you should make sure that it's still the 4 crochet beats in a bar. If you do anything less of this, you end up not transcribing it well. Let's continue. Fourthly, the musical notes and value in the beats. The musical notes, that if it's a crochet, that's a beat. You make sure that when you're transcribing it is a crochet. If it's a minim, you should make sure it is a minim when you're transferring it. Now, the 15 you should know is the accurate positioning of the notes on the staff. Now, just like we said, if it is a treble clef, you know that the first space is an F space, and if it's on key F major, you know that that F space becomes your do in solfa notation. So you need to know the accurate position of the note on the staff before you transfer it. It is advisable that before you start transcribing on a different piece, maybe you just run with your pencil a soft transcription on the staff copy. Okay, the sixth one, the number of bars of the music. The number of bars of the music. For example, you're giving short melody, you know what the bar line is, the single bar lines that help to divide the music. You check the number of bars because in the sulfur way there are still bars. You check the number of bars. Those lines, those single lines. Remember, at the end of the music, that's where you put a double line. But those single lines that you use to demarcate the music into equal barring, you check them. And finally, the modulation points, if any. Now, there are some songs that have modulation. I know we've not learned about modulation, but modulation simply means moving from one key to another. So if there's a modulation in the song, you just try and note the key so that while transcribing it to another one, you'll be able to see that point clearly. Now let's take an example of this transcription. Let's take an example. Now you see, this song is on key C. Key C because it doesn't have any sharp, it doesn't have any flat. I want you to look at it. It's on key C. It has no sharp, it has no flat. Now you see, the first note is on G. The first note is on G. The second note is on E. The third one is on E. And you see the bar line. Now, look at from the beginning is written 3/4. That there should be three crotchets in a bar, sorry. There should be 3 crotchets in a bar. Now, the first note is a crochet and it's on G. The second note is a crochet and it's on E. The third one is on E. Now it has completed the 3 crochets in a bar. Now let us try and see if we're going to know the solfa names of those notes. Now on C, on key C, G becomes a so, so it sounds so, me. Look at it. Remember we said that it's on key C and the timing is 3/4. That means there are 3 crochets in a bar. And we said that the first note is on G. The second one is on E. The third one is on E. Now there's a bar line. Let's move into the next bar now. The next note there, or the first note, is on D. The second one is on D. The third one is on E. Now remember we said that it's on 3/4, so that means that we all have 3 crochets in a bar, and it is re re mi re re mi. Okay, let's continue. After that, there is a bar line. There is a bar line. Then you see a crochet again. That crochet is on F. That crochet is on F. Then you see a minim note. Remember, two crochets make one minim, as one minim is equivalent to 2 crochets. So you see the crochet is on F while the minim is on E. So you have fa mi. Now it completes that bar. We move to the next one, and the note there is a minim, and it's a minim. The value of the note is a minim. That means it has 2 beats, and it's re re. Then after that we see a crochet rest. A crochet rest, and that bar is complete. Two crochets value in the minim. then a crochet trace, making it 3. Then the first note in the last bar is crochet, and the next one is a minim. So you see a minim has 2 crochets in it, so it makes it 1, 2, 3. So what we have here, let's sing this song, is so mi re mi fa mi re do. Let's do it again. So mi re mi fa mi re do. So if you're asked to convert it to solfa notation, the first thing you're going to write is the key. Then you write the time, which is 3/4, before you now start fixing it, changing it one after the other. I hope we understand this. I hope we do understand it, my beloved 8th graders. Okay, now let's analyze what we just saw. From the above diagram, it is visible that you can observe that one, it is on key C major. The song is on key C major because it has no sharp and it has no flat. It is a 5-bar simple melody. 5 bars, you see. 1, 1, 2, 3. You have the first one. Since we say it's on 3/4, that means 3 beats, 3 crochet beats in a bar. So 1, 2, 3. That's the first one. 1, 2, 3. That's the second one. 1 and a minim that makes a minim is 2 crochet, so is 1 plus 2 minim, 2 crochets in a minim, which is 3. That's the third bar. Then this is 2 minim, 2 crochets in 1 minim, so it's already 2. Then 1 crochet rest, making it 3. So it's already 3. It's already 3. So that's the fourth bar. Then the last one, which is this crochet note and this minim note. Remember, 2 crochets make 1 minim, and we're telling you that the song is on 3/4. That means you're going to see 3 crochets in 1 bar. Okay, so let's count together. 1, 2, 3. That's the first bar. 1, 2, 3. That's the second bar. 1 crochet and 2 minim. That's the third bar. 1 minim and 1 crochet rest. That's the fourth bar. 1 crochet and 1 minim. That is the fifth bar. Now we also say that the timing is on 3/4. 3/4. That's 3 crochet beats in a bar. 3 crochet beats in a bar. Now remember, what is up there shows you the value of the notes, while what is on top shows you the quantity or the number of the notes. So the value of the note is crochet, while what is on top is the number of crochets that should be in that bar. Okay, it has more crochet beats. Yes, it has more crochet beats. You've seen it, those black knots, they are the crochet beats. So it has more crochet beats, that's single beats, and just 3 minim beats. Minim beats are double beats. So it has 1, 2, it has 1, 2, 3, just 3 minim beats. The first minim beat can be seen in the third bar. The second minim beat can be seen in the fourth bar, and the fifth minim beat can be seen in the fifth bar. We are called the double beats. The double beats. Okay, let's have a quick recap of what we've gone through. Students were taught the following. 1. Definition. Definition of transcription. Definition of transcription. Definition of transcription. And we said transcription is defined as the process of converting a piece of music from one notation to another notation. So you were taught the definition of transcription. Secondly, you were taught how to describe a given melody. Description of a given melody. You were taught the description of a given melody. Now, this is the given melody. This is the given melody. Now you're taught how to describe it. This is how to describe it. You can say it's on the key C major. It is a 5-bar simple melody. It is on 3/4 timing. And it has more crotchets. More crotchets. More crotchets. And what? Few minutes. And a rest. You can add that. And a rest. You've taught the description. Then finally, composition of a short musical phrase using staff notation and describe and transcribe to solfa notation. This is the short musical phrase using staff notation. So you can as well do something like this and be able to transcribe it just like the one below. Look at the one below. The one above has been transcribed to the one below. So if we want to sing the song, we're going to sing it from the one below. So, mi, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do. Okay. So with this, we've come to the end of our classes for today. If you have any problem, you can try and chat me up. I know I promised to give you my WhatsApp line today so that you can chat me up personally or call for only official issues. So this is the WhatsApp number 0706 2500 466. 0706 2500 466. Okay, you can chat me up if you have any problem, and I'm going to be there for you to be able to explain more to you. Or you can also use the cloud messaging section and try and get to me. We're also going to be able to talk through the medium. But the most important thing is that you always come online and attend your classes and thereafter do your class activities. Now, if everybody does their class activity, I'm going to sing a song for you at the beginning of the class next week. If everybody, okay. Once more, thank you for paying keen attention. I thank you for listening. It's my sincere prayer that God is going to bless you with understanding so that you can know more. Please, I call on you to research more. I want you to read more. And I want you to do your class activities. Don't forget to remind those that have not been coming online to do so. Until we meet next week, please stay safe. Thank you. One love.